Prayag, where the Alaknanda meets the Bhagirathi to form the Ganga. This is the point where the journey into the hills of Uttarakhand really begins. The devastation there so intense that its impact is visible all the way here in Prayag. In India Matters this week, we explore some of the themes that emerge out of this tragedy. And we look at the concept of a pilgrimage that has taken thousands of people into the hills. Gauchar helipad turns into a critical base for rescue and relief operations. For more than 10 days, it becomes a frenzied hub of activity.
Do it. You please do it. I am sending the pilot to do the attest.
As armed forces waited for the clouds to lift, using even the shortest window of clear weather to fly towards the higher heights of Kedarnath, journalists like myself waited to do live uplinks every time a chopper went up.
Rolling.
After about half a day of waiting for the weather to clear up, there has been some good news and two helicopters, one cheetah and this one has just been able to...
सर 2 पैकेट्स में यहाँ पे और यहाँ पे राशन रखवा दीजिए. हम लोग उधर लैंड करेंगे सर. यहाँ पे लैंड करेंगे. एक यहाँ लैंड करेगा, पीछे लैंड करेगा. तो यहाँ से फिर राशन वहाँ पहुँचे. रोटर डिसएंगेज करेंगे.
Each air sortie would lead to a sense of renewed hope that more trapped pilgrims would return and be reunited with their families, many who had journeyed from across the country to Gauchar. As the days went by, that hope became a fading one. The most chilling symbol of that, these trucks, waiting for firewood to be taken to Kedarnath for mass cremations. The emerging truth hard for relatives to accept, who continued to camp out at the airbase, their pleas a haunting evidence of the scale of human tragedy that continues to unfold.
ये आंटी हैं, ये अंकल हैं, ये भी आंटी हैं, ये भी अंकल हैं, ये भाई हैं. ये 16 तारीख को लास्ट बात हुई थी हमारी इनसे, जब केदारनाथ से दर्शन करके वापस आए थे. उसके बाद कोई पता नहीं लग रहा.
To keep spirits high, to do whatever they could to help, local people in the area organized themselves. Gurudwara committees started langar, women from nearby villages started a community kitchen. Gauchar is familiar with the spotlight, but of a very different kind. Until this tragedy, Gauchar was synonymous with an annual mela, one of Garhwal's more famous fairs. In 1938, on a trip to the mountains, Jawaharlal Nehru with his sister Vijay Lakshmi Pandit had landed in Gauchar just in time to witness this mela, where local people would come dressed in their finery to buy wool and artifacts made by the Bhutia community, who would travel from the higher heights downwards during the winter months. In the past decade, that local mela in Gauchar has grown dramatically to become an important part of Garhwal's tourist calendar. Tourism and religious pilgrimage link these breathtaking landscapes of Garhwal to the rest of the nation. It's this sacred geography of the hills that draws tens and thousands of people to its shrines, most prominently to the Chota Char Dhams of Yamunotri, Gangotri, Kedarnath and Badrinath. This time turning the devastation of Uttarakhand into a national disaster, a tragedy that reached every corner of the country. As we revisit this sacred geography deeply linked to the epic Mahabharata, at every kilometer stories that reveal the magnitude of the devastation and loss. The Kedarnath temple, 11,700 feet high. This is an image from the Geological Survey of India, 1882, now frequently being reproduced. The heavy rain started on the 12th of June, intensified by the 15th, when the waters of the Mandakini river rose and spilled into the Kedarnath valley. At this point, authorities stopped all further traffic and pilgrims from coming towards Kedarnath.
शाम को हम लोगों ने एक बैठक की. बारिश अत्यधिक हो रही है, इससे लोग अपने को सुरक्षित रखें. यदि अत्यधिक बारिश होती है तो हमारे पास सुरक्षा के लिए मुख्य मंदिर का मुख्य मार्ग, यही सबसे सेफ पॉइंट है. ये सब हम बता के करीब 7 साढ़े 7 बजे वहाँ से निकले। कि चौकी प्रभारी पुलिस ममगाई जी थे, उनको हमने कहा कि आप लगातार 12 बजे तक अनाउंसमेंट करते रहिए कि सभी लोग जागते रहें और अपने को सेफ रखें।
But for thousands of people in Kedarnath, it was already too late. What followed was a furious flow of water that swept everything as it rushed downwards.
भयानक आवाज़ आया, तब सब लोग इधर उधर भागने लगे। हम भी सीधा मंदिर का अंदर ही गए हम।
Vagnesh Linga, the Rawal or head priest at Kedarnath, survived the deluge.
तो उनको बचा दिया। ये तो भगवान।
The Rawals who have traditionally served at Kedarnath are from a Shaivite community from Karnataka. Vagnesh is from Davangere.
लास्ट का जो मृत्यु को जो देखा है उन्हीं को मालूम। जोर जोर से चिल्ला रहा था, छोटे छोटे बच्चे भी था, बुजुर्ग भी था। कई लोग जो रात को फंसा हुआ था वो लोग भी मंदिर के अंदर भी आ गए थे। किसी का पाँव टूटा हुआ है, किसी का हाथ टूटा हुआ है।